A whistleblower who worked with the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe revealed in a video interview that Ukrainian Nazi groups are harvesting the organs of children in basement labs that are being discovered after the buildings are being destroyed by Russian strikes. Vera Vayman, who is a member of the OSCE and worked in Ukraine as part of an international monitoring mission, made the horrifying revelations in a video interview that corroborates earlier reports from the Russian military and even from the Ukrainian military themselves, who have openly bragged that they harvest organs of children and body parts for cash. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community for uncensored and exclusive content. The link is below this video. According to Vera Vayman, who shared her testimony about what she personally witnessed during her time in Ukraine, the children are shipped out of the country under a grain export code. Warning, this is very disturbing information.
Существовали лаборатории у защитников Украины. Это нацбаты, они, соответственно, занимались, они получали процент со сделки свой, и они занимались тем, что убивали детей. Органы они помещали в контейнеры дальше продавались, соответственно, и под экспортным кодом зерна вывозились. Мы ликвидировали 8 лабораторий, а они представляли из себя нечто похожее на то, что мы называем подвалами. В основном мы уже были после зачистки. То есть, когда лаборатория была обнаружена, и, как правило, это было после взрыва. То есть мы заходили на пепелище, там были трупы, там были дети. Препарированы. То есть детки были разрезаны.
Damning stuff, but it gets even worse. After this quick break, we have information from a Russian news segment that Western mainstream media is determined to suppress. But first, an important word from our sponsor. I know I should eat healthier, but I don't. Doctors say that we should eat 6 cups of fruit and vegetables a day, but let's be realistic. Who's got the time to eat 6 cups of fruit and veggies every single day? I certainly don't. But according to a massive study, people who eat healthy live longer, have less heart disease and diabetes, and have less cancer. So I've started taking Field of Greens, and I'll tell you why. Unlike other fruit and vegetable supplements, each specific fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was medically selected to support specific functions, such as heart health, liver and kidney health, immune system and metabolism. And I take Field of Greens every day to stay healthy and feel good, and it really works. Field of Greens works really fast, and if you're like me, you'll feel healthier, have more energy, and your skin and hair will look healthier too. It can even help you lose weight. But the biggest benefit is the better health promise. Take Field of Greens, and at your next doctor visit, if they don't say something like, "Whatever you're doing, it's working, please keep it up," return it for a full refund. And to help you get started, I've got you 15% off your first order. Plus, get another 10% off if you subscribe for recurring orders. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code TPV. That's fieldofgreens.com, promo code TPV. As the People's Voice reported, Russian soldiers are claiming that they've made a series of hideous discoveries inside Ukraine, where children between the ages of 2 and 7 are being raised in factory farm conditions, before the attractive ones are sold as sex slaves to elite paedophiles. And those who don't find buyers are carved up like discarded waste, and their organs are harvested and sold for use at European and Israeli transplant centers.
У меня группа, да, получается, собирала детей повезенных, маленьких, от 3 до 6 до 7 лет, и привозила именно вот в этот пункт. Там их раздевали на 1-м этаже, а на втором их раздевали. Как ненужный материал, их просто хоронили там в ямах или куда они вывозили. И вот эти ребята, они, знаете, говорили, как будто они как будто какую-то скотину завалили, поросенка или там кролика, да. Ну, они, да, привозили, как будто какая-то ферма, понимаете. Вот эта имплантация, да. Забирали органы. Слышал об этом, но не верил. Пока своими глазами не увидишь, не поймешь. А когда увидишь, не простишь.
According to the Kremlin, the Kiev regime has been earning hundreds of millions of dollars per year by raising children in degrading factory farm conditions and selling them to the highest bidder on the international market. No questions asked. It's understood that most of the buyers are VIP paedophiles with elite connections. And as these children don't have identities or official papers, they are a paedophile's dream because, in a legal sense, they don't exist. Western mainstream media has been complicit in its silence about Ukraine's child factory farms, even attempting to dismiss the evidence as the latest Russian disinformation campaign. There is a whole elite-funded media industry, including fact-checkers, working hard to convince anyone who'll listen that any claims out of Russia are fake news, and that Ukrainian Nazis deserve our support and taxpayer dollars. As Putin recently said about the US media, either they don't understand the damage they are doing to their own country, in which case they are simply stupid, or they understand everything, in which case they are dangerous and corrupt. If you're wondering what sort of human being could possibly engage in dismembering children for the international trade in Adrenochrome, we have more video evidence to share with you. Meet Vladimir Vasilovich, a Ukrainian field surgeon who boasted in an online video chat that he harvests organs and eyes of wounded Russian soldiers that he picks up on the battlefield for sale in the international market.
Я хирург полевой. Ага. Своим свиньям ноги. В основном я вашим свиньям ноги отрезаю и руки. И глазки. Вы знаете, почем сейчас в Германии бабушки берут глазницы? Я знаю, что у вас, возможно, ведется видеозапись, потому что вы рашистская блогер. Я это тоже знаю. Я очень рад, что я на вас попал. У меня сейчас 2 дня отпуска, я у себя дома. И я вашим 27-летним вырезаю глазки, вырезаю почки и печеночку. Я больше тебе скажу. Если он ко мне пришел, привезли его ко мне, а у него ножички уже нету, для меня он уже труп. Мое руководство мне говорит практически всегда: Владимир Васильевич, а вы можете хотя бы обезболивающего немножко уколоть, чтобы они так не мучились? А я говорю, естественно, я так и буду делать. Но я этого не делаю. Я им глаза вырезаю, тварь конченая, и балдею от этого.
But all is not lost. Brave patriots are fighting back against the international trade in children. Mel Gibson has now declared that he has nothing left to lose and is determined to play his part in bringing awareness to child trafficking and eradicating the evil of elite paedophilia, regardless of the personal consequences. Sound of Freedom tells the story of Tim Ballard, a former CIA operative who quits his job as a special agent with Homeland Security investigations. Early reports indicate that the film exposes VIP paedophilia and child trafficking. Tim Ballard recently told a crowd that the 4-part docuseries, executive produced by Tony Robbins, was nearing completion. And he also revealed that Gibson has dedicated his life to saving children from elite paedophiles.
Got a phone call from Mel Gibson. He actually did the final edit of The Sound of Freedom. That's how we know each other, but not well enough that I'd be getting phone calls. And he told me that he was in Budapest at the time. This was right hours after the invasion. And he said he supports a bunch of orphans in Ukraine and he was worried about them. And he asked if I could help get them out. So now I've got 12 from my wife. I got about 13 others from Mel Gibson. And I'm thinking, okay, I got this list of kids I got to get out. I told Mel, I said, you got to help me. This is going to be expensive. I won't ask you for direct donation, but can you help me film this? Let's film what's happening so we can get people to understand and they can support us. He said, no problem. He helped us get set up and started filming. 4 months later, what I thought was going to be maybe a documentary about Ukraine ends up being a 4-part docuseries that's almost done. It's being produced by DNA Films and executive produced by Tony Robbins. That's how crazy it got and how prophetic my wife was. When I showed up in Ukraine with a list of, I think, 20 names, the Ukrainians countered me and gave me over 10,000 names of orphans that they didn't know where they were because of the chaos caused by war. And more importantly, and more frightening to me, was the fact that I know that human trafficking is a $32 billion a year business. It's the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world, and I also know how kids get forced into that market. And it's through vulnerable situations like in the aftermath of a hurricane, mostly in a developed country, or an earthquake, or in this case, a war. And so the traffickers call it harvest time. And that was the intel we were getting. And so we weren't just there to extract those kids, but look for leads. And it really was a miracle what happened. It's one of these things that Faith precedes the miracle. I take a lot of comfort in the fact that there's only one time in the scripture where Jesus gets mafioso. It's righteous because it's Jesus doing it. But if you listen to his words, it's mafioso. He says that it would be better for you to have a millstone cast about your neck and you thrown to the bottom of the sea than that you would hurt one of these little ones, my children. That's mafioso action, sinking someone to the bottom of the ocean. And Jesus said it. So I know where he stands on it, so I can expect, and we can expect, miracles when we're fighting to protect children.
I said earlier that the mainstream media is complicit in its silence, more interested in promoting big pharma products and acting as the PR department of the Democratic Party. The media appears completely uninterested in the real-world issues that have a direct influence on the lives of our children. If you want to live in a world that's safe for our children, it's time to make a stand. Here at The People's Voice, we are determined to continue exposing the crimes of the globalist elite and report on the things that really matter. But we can't do it alone. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with anyone you know who is receptive to the truth. And feel free to join the People's Voice Locals community. I hope to see you there.